Okay, here we go, children. 3.7 solving linear equalities. Recap. Inequalities. We're dealing with these. They are replacing that equal sign. You know, intruder alert, like we've been doing, solving for the variable. And now we're just dealing with this. Open circle for these signs. Closed circle for these, and we talked yesterday about why that is. And we did some examples. Do we all remember this? There's more examples. Oh, here's the important thing. When multiplying and or dividing by a negative, you must flip the sign. By. This, whoops, right here, this was positive. We were multiplying by a positive, so we did not flip the sign. Then I gave you an example. We worked it out. You only flip it there at the very end. We are dividing by a negative, so we flip the sign. That's how far we got yesterday. Are there any questions so far? My lovely 7th graders. Okay, children. Children. Did I say 6th graders?
No,
I was like, ooh. Okay.
If I had drilled, you called us 6th graders.
Oh, sorry. Okay, open up your books to page 124. We're going to do examples from the book. Examples from the book. I've got to set all my alarms for the day. Since you guys are getting ready, I'll have time to turn on all my alarms. Gotta hurry because we do have that intruder, a real intruder alert. Get it? Get it? Okay, here we go.
I thought you meant like a
Number 2. Look at your book, number 2. Number 2. It's, oh, I've got sunglasses on. That's not good.
You do?
All right. What does number 2 say?
X.
No, what does the direction say?
A graph of following inequalities.
All right, so we're going to graph the inequality. X is less than -2. Joseph, I'm setting up my number line. I'll let you write it down, and then you're going to tell me after you write it down first, am I using an open or closed circle?
Open.
Open, and do I put it over the +2 or -2?
-2.
And which direction does my arrow go?
To the left.
To the left. Because this is saying X can be any number less than -2. Can it be -2? No, because it doesn't have that line down there saying that it can be equal to as well. Any questions?
I forgot what graph means actually.
This right here.
Okay.
X does not equal 2. Kelly.
I don't know. Don't make me scared like that.
All right, so copy that down. And then Kelly, the first thing I'm going to ask you is open or closed circle.
Oh, I still did not memorize these.
It doesn't matter. You've got notes. Think about what it's asking. It's saying X does not include 2. So would it be closed or open?
Closed. I mean open.
Open. And does it go over the -2 or +2?
Positive 2.
In which direction does the arrow go? This is saying X can be any number but 2.
So above. So it's going left. I mean right.
Which one?
The positive 2.
I know, but which direction, left or right?
Right.
It's just going right?
Yeah.
So it can be any number but 2. So you're saying it can only be greater than 2?
Okay, I see what I did wrong.
So
Left.
just left?
So they give me second guess away
If X
So
can...
it's all of them. All of them.
Bingo! It's both ways. Because it's saying X can be any number. Positive, negative, any number. But 2. So that's why it's like hollow right there, because we're not including the number 2. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I was like, why is she writing it if she can't erase it?
There's no lockdown.
And I was like, oh my god.
6.
No, what's that?
X is less than or equal to 4. Tanner, once you have this written down, you tell me open or closed.
Closed.
There you go. Over negative or positive 4.
Positive.
And which direction?
It is going both.
Both. It's saying X can be any number less than 4 or equal to 4.
So it's going left or right. Sorry.
Which numbers are less than 4?
Negative 4 is less than 4.
So then which direction should the arrow go?
This way.
There you go. That's what you need to ask yourself. Okay, so X is any number less than 4. So look at your number line and say which numbers are less than that 4 and go that direction. Or which numbers are greater than. Any questions? All right. 8. Now this part they just said solve. So we're just going to solve. Nowhere does it say you have to graph it. Okay, Joseph. Well, there's no one else in here. So we are solving for the variable, so go ahead and tell me how to solve.
You have to subtract 4 from both sides.
That's right. We're subtracting 4 from both sides. So X is less than what?
-2.
And he is correct, and we don't have to graph it. Any questions about that?
So the signs are the same.
This is a positive 2 and a negative 4. When the signs are different, we subtract and take the sign of the larger.
So we subtract 4 minus 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 and 2, and then it's a negative.
Okay. Thank you. Isn't that 10?
10. Kelly.
Thank you. No. I didn't mean to.
Okay. Kelly, we're solving for y. Tell me how to do that.
Okay, so so you do the opposite. It's positive 2.
So we are adding 2 to both sides because this is a negative 2, so we have to do the opposite, which is adding 2 to both sides. This cancels out, and I get y. Do I need to flip the sign?
No.
Why not?
Because it isn't. Hold on.
Are we multiplying or dividing by a negative?
No, we're not.
That's right. We're just adding and subtracting.
So since the signs are different, would we subtract?
Bingo. And take the sign of the larger. So Kelly, what would this be?
It would be y
Is less than?
is less than -1.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I got it right. Yeah. I was expecting me to get it wrong.
Now,
Okay.
No. 14. Any questions about 10? All right, 14 is 2y is not equal to 20. Tanner, you are my victim.
Okay. She just said,
So what would I do to solve for y?
"Damn."
Pretend, don't let these signs freak you out. Treat it as if it's an equal until the very end.
We would divide 2 by both sides.
Okay, so we're multiplying the 2 and the y are multiplying, so the opposite is dividing by 2. Very good. Now, we're dividing by a positive.
So it would be negative.
Really?
Or,
20 divided by 2?
oh, it's 10.
Yeah. You're thinking too much. You ever have a teacher tell you you're thinking too much?
No.
You're thinking too much. Relax. Any questions about that?
No.
All right. Joseph, 16. Negative 7x is greater than or equal to 14. No talking? Just kidding.
I was like, what happened?
All right, Joseph, what do I do?
Divide by negative 7x.
But-
Negative 7.
Okay, so divide by negative 7 because negative 7 and x are being multiplied, so the opposite is dividing.
Then you do that to negative 14. So it would be 2, negative 2.
So it's x is what?
Is less than or equal to.
Why do you say less than or equal to?
If you flip the sign,
Why are you flipping the sign?
you're dividing by negative.
Because we're dividing by a negative. That's right. We're dividing up here. 10 are divided by a positive. But right here, we're dividing by a negative, so the sign flips. And 14 divided by negative 7 is negative 2.
I forgot we had to flip the sign.
Okay, but that's why I did this. See, it's a negative. All right. Any questions? Do we have all this down? Kelly, you got this?
Yep.
Okay, so I think y'all are getting it. The only thing that may get you is when you have to flip that sign. All right, 18. Kelly, x divided by 5 is greater than negative 6.
Oh. I said it wrong. I was listening to you talk. I didn't look up. Okay. So you multiply 5 times 6.
Okay, we're multiplying both sides by 5 because the x and the 5 are dividing. Opposite is multiplying. And so now we have x. Now, is it stay greater or do we flip it?
We flip
We flip it? Why?
because the 6 is a negative.
But are we multiplying by
No.
a negative? So then do we flip it?
No, we don't.
No, we don't. We are multiplying by a positive. No flip. No flip. The sign stays the same. So negative 6 times 5 is? Negative 6 times 5 is?
36. 30.
Negative 6 times...
Negative 36.
Oh my god.
I want you to slow down. I want you to look at this. Negative 6 times 5.
Negative 30.
Thank you.
Sorry, my brain was kind of scattered there.
Mm-hmm. We need to know our multiplication facts, children. All right, here we go. Another one. Any questions so far?
No. I was just writing something.
All right, 20. All right, negative 7x
Oh,
is less than or equal to negative 14. Start taking these, and then you can catch up. Okay, Tanner, once you have that written, tell me what to do.
Okay, so we would divide both sides by 7.
By what?
Negative 7.
Ah, very good. Why are you dividing both sides by negative 7?
Because we're multiplying negative 7 by x.
Oh, perfect. Now tell me what to do.
Um, we would divide 14 by 7.
Negative
7.
Wait, negative 14 by negative 7, which gives you?
2.
And the sign, does it stay the same or does it flip?
It flips.
Why? Why does it flip?
Because we're divided by a negative 7.
Yes, ma'am. We are dividing by a negative. And that is your answer. So we flip the sign. So Ty, just get 18 and 20 down. I'll get you the rest after that. All right, let's do
I'm
another.
a math nerd. I had to watch. Sorry.
Oh, I know. I love this. Is my favorite stuff.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Joseph. Are you Joseph? Okay, here we go. Two-step equations. Joseph, once you have that written down, tell me what to do.
First, you have to add 8.
Good job. We're doing the first intruder that's not attached to variable first. And we're adding 8 because up here was minus 8, so we're adding 8 to both sides. Now, Todd, just do 22 if you haven't finished the others. And then you can catch up. I'll give you my notes. Summary writing the problem. 32 plus 8 is?
2 plus 8 is 40.
Okay, so I have 4x is less than or equal to 40.
Now you have to divide 4. Both sides.
Okay, the opposite. Since we are multiplying 4 and the x, the opposite to get rid of just the 4 is to divide. And I'm left with x. Does the sign stay the same?
Yes.
Because we're dividing by a positive. And 40 divided by 4 is 10. Any questions? I have 2 more. Does everyone have this down? Okay. 24. Kelly, I have x divided by 3 minus 5 is greater than or equal to 100.
Did you give me the hard one? Plus 5.
Okay, so we're going to get rid of this intruder first. So I'm adding 5 to both sides. And I get x over 3 is greater than or equal to what?
It is
100 plus 5.
100. Oh, 5.
Okay.
My brain stopped for a second.
Now what do I do?
You multiply 3 times
On both sides, right?
on both sides.
Because if x and 3 are dividing, then the opposite is multiplying. So I'm multiplying them both sides. Now, do I flip the sign or does it stay the same?
It stays the same because it's a positive, not a negative.
That's right, because we're multiplying by a positive, so this stays the same. So 3 times 105, I'll let you work it out on your paper and you tell me what you get.
215.
There you go. Any questions? Does everyone have this down?
Yes.
All right. Natalia, you want to try the last one? All right.
Oh, great. Awesome.
26. 7 minus z divided by 3 is less than 8.
So you're going to add 7.
Why are we adding 7?
It's or sorry, subtract 7.
Okay.
7 is a positive.
That's right. This is a very common mistake when the negative is right there on this side. A lot of people assume that means this is negative. So she's correct. We're going to subtract 7 on both sides because we're going across the inequality or equal sign, so we have to do the opposite. So we're left with negative z divided by 3 is less than, what's it, 8 minus 7? 1. Okay. Now, okay, we're going to multiply by 3 because this is dividing. The negative sign typically rolls with the numerator. So she's correct. We're dividing, so we're going to multiply both sides by 3. I'm left with, look at this, guys, a negative z less than, because we're multiplying by a positive, 3.
But now you can't have a negative variable.
Okay, enter a new rule. The old rule is can't have negative variable. She is correct. So, Natalia, what do I do when I get rid of it?
Get to the other side.
Okay, so we're getting rid of it and applying it to the 3. Boys and girls. That's basically like multiplying by negative. So when you do that, when you have a negative variable with an inequality, that too will flip the sign. Do y'all see that? So when, just like if you're doing, like before, when you're multiplying or dividing by a negative and you have to flip the sign, if you're down to this and you're left with a negative variable, you are moving it to the other side and you are flipping the sign. She is correct. Yes?
Why would you subtract 7 on the top?
Because this 7 is positive, there's no sign, so the opposite is negative. So we have negative 7 on both sides.
But it's subtracting the divided by 3, so it would be adding.
We're not doing this right here. See, that negative follows this. This 7 has nothing in front, so we assume it's positive. So the opposite is negative.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Very common mistake. All right. Any questions? Before we have our little lockdown, you are doing page 124.
They told you when they're doing it.
Not really. I thought it was soon, though. Numbers 1 through 27 odd. I think that's plenty. And that is due Monday. And you have a test Wednesday. And if you did not finish your IXL, it's, minus 11 each day.